Do we ever struggle to do something on our own? Is it almost impossible to keep up? Like if you're exercising and don't have anyone to hold you accountable or exercise with you? Or if you're going through a hard time and no one is there to help you out or pray for you? Is it hard to pursue a goal when we are the only one we know pursuing that goal? Or if we have no one to encourage us to reach that goal or walk with us to that goal? Like if you're learning to preach but had no one to teach you? It is hard to do things alone, but love is needed so that we can all grow together. Let's look at Matthew 22:37. And he said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And a second is like it, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments depend all the law and the prophets." We are told to love God and to love our neighbor, but what does this even mean? What is love really? Well, the Greek word used here for love is agape, and 1 Corinthians 13 uses the same Greek word and tells us a bit more about what love is. It teaches us how this love is patient, meaning it perseveres and it endures. We're told love is not arrogant and does not boast, so it is humble, not looking down on others. Love also does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but in the truth. To love means you want someone to know and follow the truth. So why do we love? Why do we want others to come to the truth? Well, here in Matthew 22, Jesus tells us that loving is the greatest command. In verse 38, this is the great and first commandment. Loving God and loving our neighbors. Loving even if we don't even know someone that well. If we love God, we should follow his commands. He who does not love does not know God, so in order to call ourselves Christians, we must love. Loving can also be very rewarding. You see, when we love someone, we wish for them to do better, and we try to help them do their best. When we see their growth, we are happy for them, and it brings us joy. We also grow relationships with that person, which brings us more joy and makes things easier through love. We help each other to grow and accomplish our goals. Now we know what love is and why we should love, but how do we love? The greatest command is mentioned here in Matthew 22 and also Mark 12:29, which says, "Jesus, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. The second is this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these." So that tells us that we should love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength. But notice how that makes up all of us? We are our heart, soul, mind, and strength. So really we are to love God with everything we have and all of ourselves. That means more of ourselves should be going to him than anything else, and we should follow his truth and rejoice in it, not anyone else's truth. We should glorify him in our actions and every aspect of our lives, giving him the credit. We are also told to love our neighbors as ourselves. So when it comes to others, we should always place them above and beyond ourselves. We should be humble and put others first. If I were infinity, they're beyond. Jesus tells us to do this as well, and by loving our neighbors, we are also loving God by following his commands. But this means rejoicing together in truth, not in wrongdoing, for that's not really love. We also can't let how we think of others get in the way of us loving them, because it doesn't matter what we think. It matters what God says. In Matthew 22, God tells us to love him, putting him first in everything and rejoicing in his truth. He also tells us to love our neighbors and place them above ourselves. We should put everything we have into loving and into growing together, striving for God with our neighbors and helping each other to learn and grow through God's word. I challenge you to think more on this passage, but I encourage you to do it with a neighbor. Find someone to study with and discuss Matthew 22 together. So this week, or in the coming month, let's get together with someone and really discuss with each other what this passage means to us. Let's learn and grow together. Then we can come up with a practical application and help each other accomplish that goal. Thank you.